Hey guys, bogging down issues. Okay, when I first got my 1980 Turbo Trans Am, it actually had this carburetor in here. And to look at them, visually they look almost exactly the same, except of course for the infamous extra barb down on the bottom, which goes to your pevr, power enrichment valve regulator, which is designed to work in unison with the 301 Trans Am and give it extra fuel under load, which a normal carburetor couldn't deliver. Okay, bogging down. It was quite simple. Got the vehicle, wrong Carby, ordered the new Carby. Came from the States, cost me a fortune. I had to take off the wide open switch from the old one, and I had to take off this rear vacuum brake as well off of the old carburetor. Only things it didn't come with. Pop those on, stick in the car ran, started, everything else like that. Problem was, if you tried to accelerate, it would literally just start to bog down, and if you held it there for more than a second, it would start to pop. And I'm talking backfiring out of the exhaust, it seemed to be popping back out of the carburetor. This had me puzzled, points, gaps, all the rest of that. Now, all timing was correct, everything else was correct. We ran through every procedure. I even messed with the idle mixture screws, tried everything, and could never get it to run quite right. So, the other day, I decided to take this hose off here. This vacuum hose goes from the front onto this little front brake, or front vacuum brake, and it's actually connected to an armature, which hooks over to this, the little secondaries, I forget what they call butterfly. So what it does is this, it basically, under normal vacuum coming from the front of the carburetor, this pulls back like this, and as you can see, it locks into there, which then stops the rear secondary top ones from actually fluttering open. Then as soon as you accelerate and vacuum pressure drops in the front, it releases, allowing these to free up and move. So what I did by taking that off, taking for a run, I realised she didn't backfire anymore because just natural air pressure or air vacuum pressure was allowing a certain amount of air to go through. And it was still a bit, yeah, it was going alright, but to me, I don't know what it's supposed to go like, because I haven't driven one of these in over 30 years. So it puzzled me so much, I got back and I thought, I'm going to take the carburetor off because a good friend Joe in the States, thanks mate, he sent me one of these little bad boys. Vacuum tree, whatever you want to call it. Couldn't get one. I actually bodgied up one. That's an Aussie term, by the way. These bits here, it was crud. Better look at work to get things started. But anyway, good old mate got me one of those, and he got me the air cleaner hat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And also a hose as well. So, all right, getting back to it. What happens is this. This rear vacuum tree is run by the secondaries. Is hooked directly on to this rear vacuum brake. Now, what happens is, under any kind of heavy load, the front one releases naturally, freeing up the secondary tops, and this then receives a high vacuum pressure coming down through here, pulls back on this. Now, it's so complicated, and it looks so simple, but it isn't. What happens is this little armature pulls back, and if I take my Mighty Vac, thank you very much guys for saying to buy one, it's been handy, and if I just give it a, you can see it pulling back the armature like that. Now what happened was, because I just took this part straight off the old Carby, bolted it on and figured that'll work, what I didn't realize was this little armature bit here actually has to be adjusted. Now, I don't know anything about Carby, so I'm learning this on the fly as well. And what I realized, because it was sitting back here, even when it pulled back, it wasn't pulling back here. And if you look, you'll see this little cam step there, right? That little cam step, when it's functioning properly, does this. And you'll notice it actually pulls it away and frees up room, okay? So then if I take the vacuum off, you can see it seats back on there. Why is that important? Well, I puzzled over this for quite a while and realized on your carburetor you have your throttle linkage arm like this. Now it's connected to another linkage, goes around here, and here's your secondaries down here. A lot of people make the misconception by turning that it's just going to open your secondaries. And you've heard the old, it has vacuum secondaries. Well, what it does is, has a spring tension, but if you try to accelerate without the actual vacuum on the secondaries, that thing will actually lock it and stop from going anywhere. So what actually has to happen is vacuum has to be applied to pull it away, free it up, and then give it actual room to turn and be able to open the secondaries. So the whole issue was this. By disconnecting that, I found I was getting air and no pops, and thought, oh well, that's going a little bit better. But the secondaries were never opening. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to put all this back together, pop it back in, and take a video of me driving it and see how it runs, because I think for the first time I'm going to feel like a 301 turbo is actually running the way it's supposed to. So there we go. Hope this helps somebody. I'm learning as I go, and it's a good way to share. Thanks guys, take care, bye.